Grace and peace be unto you. Welcome to another meditation moment. I am Minister Sonja Pinckney Rhodes. As Christians, the Lord wants to use us to lead people into a relationship with Him. And when we think of how good the Lord has been to us and where He has brought us from, we should desire that all people would come to know Jesus as the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. As I studied Kerygma in my first semester of seminary, the main idea was to know God, to be known by God, and to make God known that I may better proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. Today, I will share with you that you may come to know God for yourselves. Throughout the Bible, we learn of those the Lord used mightily in the past and who also had a desire to know Him. Moses said to God, "I beseech thee, show me thy glory." He's asking God for an abundance or overflow of Him or some physical glorious representation. David said, "As the deer pants for the water brooks, so my soul pants for you, God." This describes David as a man with God's Spirit. He is born again, and his hunger and thirst is for the living God. Job 14:14 says, "For I know that my Redeemer lives." In Job's suffering, he had knowledge of the Lord to bring hope even in the midst of his greatest trials. Paul says that his heart belongs to God. To know Him is the power of the resurrection and the fellowship of His suffering. Paul is demonstrating that we should live our lives in such a way that the world knows that we are not of the world because we have been called out of the world by a risen Savior. The risk is that the world will hate us and persecute us just as they did Jesus. Therefore, I tell you that the greatest desire of every true Christian is to know God. For every human objective centers on that one point, that if you know God, you would receive Him as Lord of your life. It is imperative to believe that knowing God is more than just talking to God, but we must be a living prototype of whom God is. It is more than just having a single encounter with God. We need to know the power of His resurrection, that one day when this life is over, we shall rise again with Him and receive that mansion in heaven that God declares in John 14, but not just for ourselves, but that our families will get to know Him as well. Thank you for joining us for another meditation moment.